Countess Orlova?
Lisa, darling, is that you? I was just finishing up some work. I certainly didn't expect to see you here. Do you have a form to file for the city head's attention?
Something like that.
Well, I'm afraid all the bureaucrats are already gone. No one's putting in the work nowadays, you see. Banker's hours.
No one wants to work these days.
Oh, don't get me started on that. The whole country daydreams about getting plastered in the evening and then leaves with the first whistle. And then they wonder why the economy's going pear-shaped and the country is in pig's shit. But I digress. What brings you here tonight, darling?
Oh, there is this project I've been helping the mayor with. He asked me to survey the peasants regarding their workload and report back with the results.
Did he now?
Hope it's all right with you, Madame Orlova.
Of course, dear. How can I say no to taking initiative? Next time, though, run those things by me. All business requires due diligence.
Will do, Madame Orlova.
I'm actually glad I ran into you, dear. There was something I wanted to discuss. From the moment I saw you on your first night in that dirty little nightgown, something told me that you are special. You don't know this, but the envelope that you were tasked to retrieve from that house was quite valuable. I was trying to work out a deal, and man alive, it got me quite some leverage at the time.
I'm glad I could be of service.
Don't flatter yourself too much, honey. Now, stay with me for a minute. How familiar are you with the works of the stock market?
It's rather simple, isn't it? People invest into companies and futures. If they guess right, they get a payoff. Not much different from a casino when you think about it.
Couldn't have put it better myself. Whoever correctly predicts what will happen receives a substantial payoff.
Sounds like a fun time, if you have the money.
Oh, it is indeed, dear. Good fun. Now, I know you've wrestled some with your new identity. Tell me, where do you stand on your eternal life nowadays?
I keep going back and forth on that one.
Fair enough, dear. I found that there isn't one correct answer myself. However, none of those fools playing the game have what you and I have. None of them live long enough to see the truth and learn their lessons. Any vampire who's lived longer than a century and not become rich is a waste of opportunity incarnate. We can invest in people, play them like cards in our hands. We are able to predict what will happen better than anyone because we've seen it all happen 1,000,000 times over right before our eyes. But even other vampires, none of them have our heads on their shoulders.
What exactly are you trying to say?
Have I not made myself clear? I am offering you to become my protégé, silly. You've earned it. You've proved yourself. Victoria, Hussar, and all the others. None of them have what it takes. But you and I, we can move mountains together. You'll live with me at the manor, and I'll teach you all there is to know about running a thriving business, an empire. We will bend the country itself to our very will and live like the queens we deserve to be.
That's a very generous offer, Madame Orlova. It's just that...
Don't tell me. I know what bothers you. It's your missing brother, isn't it? Well, what if I told you that I could reunite you two before sunrise?
How is that possible? I don't even know where he is, let alone the fact that he's arrested.
For as long as I've lived in this country, and it's longer than I care to admit, dear, The law has never worked the same for people like me versus people like your brother. I can promise you not only his freedom and safety, but that your whole family will be taken care of for generations to come.
Is what you are saying true?
I appreciate that you're thinking through this, but what reason do I have to lie, dear? You've proven yourself worthy. You've earned the right to power in our ranks, and now you may choose what to do with it. Come with me, and we can change the world together. What do you say?
Madame Orlova, thank you for your generous offer. I accept.
You won't regret this, my dear. Now come. We have our work cut out for us. We have a whole country to play for.
The feedstock numbers keep climbing, and we've certainly cornered the high-end market. I'd say in a few more months, we'll have enough influence to take back the operation entirely. And with that, I believe we've earned ourselves this drink tonight. To good business.
Hear, hear.
I have to say, this may be one of the finest batches yet, but I believe the best is still to come. After all, we have all of eternity.
What did I say? What did I just say, Tamara? That's right. I said not to disturb me during my peak productive hours. The decrees won't publish themselves. Besides, Why, you aren't Tamara at all, are you? I suppose a welcome is in order. What brings you here, my dear?
Would you care to explain your slaughterhouse here?
Slaughterhouse? Oh, of course. You must mean my blood export system. I can see how it may appear a little jarring to an unprepared visitor.
A little jarring. People are being tortured and killed right outside this very door.
See, I wish more people expressed genuine curiosity before casting judgment. Isn't that what science is all about?
This isn't science. It's a bloodbath designed by a madman.
Lisa, I thought of you as a much more rational person, a contributor to society. As you know, I care deeply about my fellow man, my neighbors, those working so hard just to get by. During my early years in government, oh Lord, this takes me back. One of my responsibilities was to pay visits to officials in different provinces. I met people from all around the country, from all kinds of backgrounds and all sorts of trades. It didn't take me even 2 months to realize that everything was rotten, inside and out, chaotic, in complete disarray. Every little town was exactly the same. Hospitals shamefully understaffed, roads ridden with potholes, good people suffering in poverty and drowning in drink. And no one did anything about it. No one even cared. They were too busy lining their own pockets. Police and most of my colleagues, all corrupt to the bone. Bureaucracy stopping any feeble attempts to take action. It made me boil with anger, Lisa. Livid. I swore to myself that once I rose up, I would get rid of the chaos that is our country. That I would turn it around. Help my good fellow citizens. Design a system.
So you really think you've succeeded?
Since I've become mayor, the town has improved, wouldn't you say? In only a few months, local businesses have received loans, roads have been fixed, willing people have jobs.
Willing people?
That's right. Honest, hard-working people. And that's exactly where the system comes in. You're a smart young lady. You must understand that money doesn't come out of nowhere. Say, a building needs to be fixed. You need to take the money out of the town's budget. But it's all been squandered or stolen by your predecessors. Ultimately, nothing gets done. Frustrating, isn't it? But what if there was a whole demographic of consumers in constant need of expensive liquid product?
Cabernet.
Exactly. I learned about the existence of vampires once I climbed high enough as a government official. It's not that big of a mystery as long as you have the right connections, you know. It's shocking that your species, some centuries old I might note, was sitting on a gold mine, but had no clue how to adapt it to the modern world. It took me 5 minutes talking with the Countess to put 2 and 2 together. By producing Cabernet, she managed to make enough coin to run her estate, but she completely missed out on a bigger opportunity.
And what exactly is that opportunity?
The old crone drained using archaic techniques. Her manor sales only offering space for a few. But you and I, Lisa, we know that we live in a burgeoning age of industry, of endless production possibilities. Moreover, she only made Cabernet from those of noble birth, foolishly thinking their blood was purer. But you and I, Lisa, we know of the equality of man, that deeds determine true worth.
Why, of course.
My operation quadrupled turnover by draining lawbreakers, the slothful, illegal foreigners. It uses the parasites of the earth to lift up society. Everybody wins, Lisa. You, me, the good townspeople, the deserving citizens of our country. My system solves 2 problems at once. It disposes of those who seek to keep us in ruin, and it provides significant income to benefit the people. Unfortunately, the Countess managed to find out about my enterprise and threatened blackmail if I didn't cut her in. And this is actually a good time for me to give you, Lisa, some credit for this brilliant operation.
What? Me?
Indeed. I know about the documents that the Countess ordered you to steal from my house. If she would have seen my plans before we struck the deal, she would have negotiated a much larger share for herself. Basically, the town is in your debt. In any case, Miss Morozova, I do apologize. I bent your ear for far too long. I take it that you managed to find me all the way down here for a reason. How may I be of service?
You say that you only take the blood of parasites, but that isn't true. Your basement cells are filled with protesters, regular people whose only crime is wanting a better society, just like you claim to. How does that fit the system you described?
I can see your confusion. Those are terrorists, an aggressive and dangerous kind. They tried to shoot me at the rally. You saw it with your own eyes.
What if I told you that those people are innocent?
Whatever do you mean?
I discovered that the whole thing was set up by the Countess. She hired a marksman to provoke the chaos, clearly so that you would have more victims for production. These people meant no harm.
Orchestrated mayhem to manipulate the citizens? I won't stand for it. Countess Orlova and I will have a serious talk about this. Corruption, from my business partner no less, will not be tolerated. I'll tell you what, Lisa. I will set the protesters free as early as tomorrow. You have my word. Of course, those that were sent to the lower floors, I can't let them go. Sadly, my hands are tied here. They've seen too much. It goes without saying, of course, but no one can know about what happens down here. The system is not for everyone to comprehend. Some just have to reap the benefits of the machine without knowing how it works. So, what do you say?
I accept.
I am delighted to hear that, Elisabetta. You always struck me as a judicious person. And who knows? Perhaps we can keep working together.
We'll see where the future takes us.
Indeed. But wherever it does, one thing I know is that it will be bright.
Lisa, there you are. Don't forget that you're meant to take minutes for the mayor tonight. He won't be pleased if you keep him waiting.
That's right. Thank you for reminding me, Anya. I'll see you tomorrow.
Night, Lisa.
So, what do you say?
Even if it's for the sake of the greater good, I just can't be a part of this. What's going on here has to stop.
Lisa, you're breaking my heart. Well, I'm truly sorry we couldn't make a deal. Before you go, I've always loved that old counting rhyme. Do you know it? How does it go again? Crescent came out of the fog, took a knife out of his pocket. I will cut and I will hit. Either way you will be it.
What happened?
Oh, you're up.
Where are all my things?
Mayor Skortsov ordered to lock you up, I'm afraid. All your property has been confiscated.
That bastard.
You're the first vampire I've guarded, you know? Fascinating stuff.
What an honor. It's full of fresh blood. This would last me a while, only I can't bear to drink it, knowing where it comes from. My coffin. He must have ordered it to be brought here so that I don't fry in the morning. How long does he intend to keep me here?
By the sound of it, you're in for the long haul. Nothing personal, miss. Just doing my job.
Dragomir.
In a cage yet again. Have you learned no lessons?
Why did you come here?
I am no stranger to these parts. Myriads of things have occurred in this house that nourish me and my spirit. Seeing you here was not planned, and yet not surprising. Nonetheless, looking at your soul once more, I recognize that all this time I was wrong about you. I once gave you a chance when you were trapped, but instead of a fearsome beast, you became a mewling kitten.
What's wrong with cats?
If only you listened to me, you could have become the maker of history, the master of rulers, the forger of destinies. Instead, you will stay here forever, imprisoned by a mortal fool. Let this be a lesson to you.
Forever?
You don't think he will let you out of here, do you? Although perhaps undeserved, you are immortal, your days will be forever spent here. He'll lie to others and hide you. Consider this a lesson. The last one I will teach you. One who learns more, does more, makes something of themselves, can always find a way. I gave you a chance, and you squandered it. No more. So much potential wasted. Pity.
I did the right thing. At least I thought I did. And an eternity without freedom is what I get in return. But I am not the first and far from the last. This is how our land always rewards the brave. All I have left is hope that one day everything will be different. Dragomir.
In a cage yet again. Have you learned no lessons?
Maybe I would have learned more if I had a better teacher.
Don't blame your errors on your elders, child. You betrayed my trust once before. I do not hold it against you. While I rested, I hoped you would find your own path. Nonetheless, looking at your soul anew, I can see that I was right about you. It is clear you've discovered your own path towards becoming a lion, a predator of the night.
I'm quite flattered. Thank you.
Concerned with flattery, I'm not. Your destiny shall go beyond this prison cell and swamp of a town. How tedious it must be to have a wolf's blood flowing through your veins, but to be bound to a sheep's body. But those days are almost over. A new beginning nears. There is just one more step left before true power is at your fingertips.
What is it?
Show the one who put you in the cage who you really are. Drink every drop of his blood. Feed on every scream he emits. The reward will not leave you wanting. Are you ready?
It would be my pleasure to destroy that bastard.
Very well. You are now again bound by your vow. I will set you free once more, so you may fulfill it. Find your warden. Take from him what you deserve.
Oh, I'll take every single drop.
Once balance is restored, you will be granted your true power. Then you can show them who you really are. All of them. Every single one. Now go through that door and sow the seeds of chaos. In this world, they are the ones that yield the mightiest crops.
Thank you, Master.
Farewell, child. You have proven to be a worthy investment.
What are you doing here? Guards, come here right away!
They aren't going to help you this time. In fact, I'm afraid nothing will.
Don't you come any closer. I'm warning you.
It's you! What have you done? Surrender right now. You hear me?
True power at my fingertips.
Ah! It's over. You are finished, lady.
You stay right where you are.
My pleasure. And the light will await you and me. Await you and me.
And this is exactly why we can't trust the rotten government to execute our rights. It is time for a better future. It is time for everyone to unite. It is...
Lisa? What are you doing over there?